Hi today. I'm so glad to be here again, and I'm glad to see you in particular. um, Here on this channel, if it's your first time, eventually we're going to talk about anything and everything, but FYI, my specialty knowledge is in the field of Ayurveda. And Ayurveda is a life science, a spiritual science, I would say, that stems back from ancient India thousands and thousands of years ago. Ayurveda grew up in India right around the same time, excuse me, pardon me, right around the same time that Chinese medicine was growing up in China. So they go back a pretty far while, even before the written word. It was oral tradition of healings and whatnot that kept it alive. So I'm pretty happy to be able to talk about Ayurveda because it has really resonated with me through more than half of my life now, and I pursued it as education, and I also practice it as a life skill. So let's jump right in. In Ayurveda, there are mind-body constitutional types. There's 3, based on nature's elements, and I'm just going to get started with that right away. Nature's elements are air, fire, earth, and water. And when you have predominantly an air element as your main constitution, we call that vata. Air, and the qualities of air that vata people have: cold and dry. And vata people, I say vata people and pitta people and kapha people. Nobody has just one pure mind-body constitution, because that's impossible, especially in this society that we're in right now. But when I say a vata person, I'm just talking about vata qualities that they may have. So, and for vata, air, the qualities that air gives to that person are cold and dry. So vata people have a real hard time in the winter, fall and winter, where fall is like drying out, and winter is super dry, like it just gets more dry, and cold. Vata people have a very hard time getting warm once they allow themselves to get cold. You won't see many vata folks, on the ski slopes, because once they get cold, it's like an unbearable feeling. The next constitution is fire. Now, the fire has a particular quality called damp heat, and that constitution of primarily fire is called pitta. Damp heat. Damp heat, pitta people, because they're already damp heat inside their bodies, have a hard time with hot and humid weather. Here. I don't like it at all. And thank goodness, I have been doing this Ayurvedic lifestyle long enough to have developed some tricks up my sleeve to feel better, more balanced in the summer. Hot and humid. I'm okay with dry and hot, but the heat and humidity combined just make me really miserable. Miserable from the inside out. The next elements and mind-body constitution come from earth and water. And if that's something that resonates with you, we call it kapha. Earth and water the qualities are cool and wet. And kaphas like to be kept warm because their nature is cool, but they can withstand more cold, much more cold than, say, a vata person. Kaphas, are thrown out of balance a lot of times by weather that mimics their constitutional expression. So like dark, rainy days, dark, cold, rainy days, that aggravates kapha, and it aggravates vata too. The people who are happy on cold, rainy days would be me. As a pitta person, my pitta heat is very deep and abiding. And on a cold, rainy day, I just feel so balanced. It's like something is in place for me. So, excuse me. Before I start talking about any type of food, I want to introduce two more words from the Ayurvedic texts. One of the most important concepts in Ayurveda is called Agni, and Agni. I have a little sign for it and everything. Agni. And it references the digestive fire. Now, digestive fire is both literal, like in your stomach, in your processing organs. So when you take your food in, it is used, the way it's supposed to be used. It's digested, broken down the way it's supposed to be. You absorb your vitamins and send the waste along its way without any hang-ups at all. So digestive fire. But it's also metaphorical, like we can talk about mental Agni, the ability to absorb information, fact discernment, things like that, critical thinking, stuff like that has to do with mental Agni. And it's important that you keep your Agni burning, sort of at a slow burn all the time. I talk about living at a 6 in terms of hunger and satiety. You don't want to go past a 6 in fullness when you're eating, to leave plenty of room for the digestive juices to encapsulate and splash and do all the stuff that they are going to do. And that's Agni, digestive fire. It's really important that your Agni is strong and that you're not asking your body to digest things that are not food. So I have a little soapbox that I take out for special occasions, like when I'm talking about too much salt, sugar, artificial dyes in our food that serve no purpose at all. And those things to me are not food. They're, you might be able to qualify them as entertainment. We do eat for a variety of reasons. And it's important to give fuel that your body actually will thrive on, and not ask too much of it, and not be super distracted when you're eating either. Like, make sure you're not angry when you're eating, because you'll be focused on your emotions and your body will not have its awareness on breaking down the food like it would if you really took time with it and did mindful eating. So all that digestive Agni is really, really a keystone in Ayurveda. And the next term I'm going to introduce today is AMA. AMA. It's not the American Medical Association. Excuse me. Sorry about that. AMA translates literally to an undigested mass. So that which is undigested, it is, again, metaphorical and literal, just like Agni. The literal ama is a substance that you can find inside the vessels of the body. Like if you go a long time without properly digesting the right kind of foods, you will develop ama. And that does lead to vessel blockages and, the thickening of vessel walls and things like that. So, and then there's ama, like a deficient ama, say mentally. If you have too much ama, you will have a hard time absorbing information the way you would like to be and stuff like that. It all, comes into play in a bigger picture. And I'm so happy to have just the teensiest soapbox that I can help people be a little healthier and put a different perspective on things. Because it's very easy to get, to slide down the slippery slope of eating unhealthy and expecting your body to be healthy. That doesn't make any sense. Of course, you will have more dis-ease if you don't feed your body what it needs for fuel. And our bodies, thrive on, now, conditions of serious illness aside, our bodies really thrive and can recover quite well from dramatic traumas and injuries if it's given the right fuel. The traditional Ayurvedic diet is vegetarian, but a little bit of goat milk, goat cheese, things like that are okay. I've been a flexitarian for most of my life, and I'm just now dabbling in getting back to vegetarianism. But I was vegetarian when I was younger for a very long time, very strict, and it showed. It just really showed. Excuse me. The foods that each dosha can eat to stay in balance, we're going to cover next time. I just really wanted to introduce this concept of Agni and Ama today. And you feel free to look those up and get more info. But food is kind of a big topic, and I'm going to need more time than what I have here right now. So there's a little tease. There's a little foreshadowing. Today's Monday, and I'll be back with an influx of information on Ayurvedic meals and meal planning and eating and stuff like that for Wednesday. All right. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you soon.